Have you ever been bored? Bored enough that you go into a custom game of Valorant, you load up a random map, you just fire any arrow you can find. No? Well, I have. And let me show you what I came up with. These arrows take place on Ascent, and a lot of these are from my own experimentation. I haven't tried them very much in games, so just take them with a little pinch of salt. Now we're starting off on the stairs on B. I'm looking at this little boat. I'm lining up at the center of the ridge. Now I am lining the first vertical line on the charge bar with this little power line here. And I'm using free power. Now this lands nicely on this vent on mid and will show everything on top mid, maybe towards A.
Right here.
Now, have you ever been sat on B and thought, gee, I wish I could get an arrow onto A short? Yeah, me neither, but here's one. We're back on the steps on B, we're looking down here, and we take this corner and we just sort of aim all the way up until we reach this sort of power line, and then we just got to go slightly over using free power. This one seems to get stuck every now and then. It seems to be quite precise, so just have a little fiddle around with it. Also, because it lands low, you could probably use it as a shock dart as well. So just to repeat that for you, we look at these little steps, we move onto the corner there, and we make sure the crosshair is above the power line, and we fire it for free power, and this should reach a short.
Right here.
Now, here's an arrow for B that you can use when you know they're taking this orb. This sort of cracked brick, use full power, 2 bounces, and a shock dart there will land on anyone trying to collect that orb. So we're looking at the bottom corner of this cracked brick. 2 bounces, max charge, gives us a shock dart for there.
Right here.
Now these are going to be my retake arrows for B site coming from A. This first one's going to land on the default bomb plant site. Often you find people are hiding behind this crate. So we're going to start off in this corner near CT. And we're looking up at the corner of this building. We're following it up until the middle mouse button of the mouse icon is directly on this wire. And we're using 2 power.
Shock dart.
This next arrow is going to hit this little spot that I'm looking at now. This corner is usually held when they've got a bunch of people on site. So we start by looking at this little plug on the wall, and then we follow it all the way up until the very tip of the 2 diamonds underneath the word charge are reaching that little line, and then we just do 1 power and it should land in this corner. Now this arrow lands on the back side of B where people can be hiding in that little archway. We aim at this corner and we move all the way up until where it says charge, the E's kind of getting cut off a little bit, and then we use 2 power and it should land in this tiny little archway here. This one is going to hit the right hand side. You see where it says charge? I want you to put the C on the corner, and then I want you to move it all the way up until it touches that power line, and then it should land directly inside there using 2 power. These arrows from market require you to know that you're not going to get pushed from either side. Standing at the entrance of B, 1 power and 1 bounce on the middle of those 2 tiles lands on this side of default. Now, if you have the bomb down on B and you're standing in boathouse, there's a few methods of attacking market. Firstly, aim at the center of the 4th and 5th little groove on this roof, and then aim up until your crosshair roughly meets the steeple on the tower on your right. Then 1 power should land right outside market. This may take some practice, so maybe go into a custom game and try it out for yourself. And now these arrows are for attacking B. And now we tuck ourselves into the corner, and then we move up until the B on bounces touches that antenna, and then we use 2 power. And this should land all the way onto stairs. So if someone's holding stairs, it should land there. Now you can combo this with another arrow, because when people get hit by that first arrow on the stairs, they're going to move back. So instead of putting the B on the antenna, you want to put the 0 on the antenna, and it should reach right there and catch anyone retreating from your first shock arrow. This is an arrow that Sonars uses. You want to get onto this vent about halfway, move your crosshair all the way up so that the box is halfway at that green sort of circle, and then with 2 power, it should loop down onto B. And then you follow up with this arrow where you look left up to where this darkened brick is, and you move a few bricks over and fire with 1 power, 1 bounce.
Right here.
Putting them all together, we get this.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Which, as you can see, lands simultaneously. Moving on to attacking a site now. I like to get close to this box in the corner, and then I aim up until the A in charge reaches the white spike from the rightmost explosion point. I then release with 2 power, and this lands on the back of default. In the corner again, I aim about an inch down from where the white bit meets the purple bit on the spike, and then I fire with 2 power, and it reaches where the operator usually sits on heaven. Continuing in the same place, you can hit the right hand side of heaven in that little cubby. Just aim at the bit where the white meets the purple in this little corner, and then 2 power, and it should land directly in the corner here. In the corner, aim up until the A and the R is split by the purple line, and use 2 power to hit the back of generator. To hit this little hiding area on the right hand side, you want to aim up until kind of the middle of this cloud, and then you want to use 2 power, and this should hit in the corner here. I strongly recommend you try this one in practice first before going into a game with it. This is the last arrow I have for attacking a site. Place the A in charge at the very tip of this explosion spike, and then 2 charge should hit the very front of generator on that left side. Moving on to retaking a site. This arrow lands behind the green box. So sometimes you get people that are holding this, trying to peek on heaven. Standing close to the corner on my right, we aim at the top of the gargoyle and we just click. Now you're also probably going to want an arrow behind that as well. And it's pretty much the same lineup, we're just aiming down a little bit. So now we're aiming at the gargoyle's head rather than at the top of the gargoyle, and that hits that back area where if people are trying to watch heaven, they'll probably be standing there. With our back against the wall, we're making sure that the knuckle on his left hand is covering this little yellow tape area on the floor. And then we're aiming up until the top right corner of our charge bar reaches the bottom right corner of this square on this pillar. And then we're firing the arrow with 1 bounce for 3 power. This lands on the archway on the left and should hit anyone trying to stop people entering from short. This final dart will land in the wine cellar. It's similar to the previous dart, but you need to move it over to the left a bit more. You need to use the bottom left corner of the charge bar and the top right corner of the charge bar to line this one up. The bottom left should touch this 3rd rung, and the top right should touch the bottom left corner of the square on that pillar. Fire with 2 power. So that's it for all the shock darts and sonar arrows on each bomb site. I hope that was helpful. Please like and subscribe. I will put my Twitch and Discord in the description, and please leave a comment if you wish. My name's Judy, and thank you for watching.